Hello students, today we will learn about tibia. We know that skeleton of the leg is formed by two long bones, tibia and fibula. Tibia is preaxial bone. It is homologous with the radius of the upper limb. In the leg, it lies medially. Fibula, it is lying in the lateral side in the leg. It is homologous with the ulna of the upper limb. Tibia is massive while fibula is slender. Tibia alone participate in the formation of knee joint, while lower end of tibia and fibula both articulate with the talus to form the ankle joint. So, tibia transmits the body weight, and this factor accounts for its bulky size. Tibia is also known as shin bone. It is the long bone, so it has upper end, shaft and lower end. The upper end is expanded to form two condyles, medial condyle and lateral condyle. The lower end is smaller as compared to upper end, but it has projection medially downward. This projection is known as medial malleolus. Here you can see medial malleolus projecting downward. The shaft has three borders and three surfaces. Three borders include anterior border, medial border and lateral border. Three surfaces are medial surface, lateral surface and posterior surface. Here you can see the anterior border. It is S-shaped. It is convex medially in its upper part and convex laterally in its lower part. Side determination. For side determination, keep the larger end upward. The S-shaped anterior border on the anterior aspect and this projecting malleolus on the medial side. From this 3 point, we can determine the side of the bone. So this is the tibia of right side. The tibia has upper end, shaft and lower end. For general feature, first we will learn about upper end. Now we will see the bone from the superior view. The upper end is expanded to form two large condyles. This is medial condyle and this is lateral condyle. In between these two condyles, this is the intercondylar area. On the anterior aspect, this upper end has a tuberosity. It is known as tibial tuberosity. Now, medial condyle. The medial condyle has four surfaces: superior surface, anterior surface, medial surface and posterior surface. The superior surface is articular and it articulates with medial condyle of femur. This surface is oval in shape. Here you can see it is oval. Its long axis is directed antero-posteriorly. It has concave central part which articulates directly with the condyles of the femur. While the peripheral part, it is flattened. This is the flattened peripheral part, which is separated from the femoral condyle by medial meniscus. Lateral margin of this surface is elevated to cover the medial intercondylar tubercle. This elevation, it is the medial intercondylar tubercle. On its posterior surface, this condyle shows the presence of groove. This is the groove on its posterior surface. Now, medial surface and anterior surface of this condyle shows the presence of numerous foramina. You can see numerous vascular foramina. Now, lateral condyle. This lateral condyle has four surfaces: superior surface, anterior surface, lateral surface, and posterior surface. The superior surface is circular in shape and it is smaller as compared to that surface of medial condyle. Superior surface is articular and it articulates with lateral condyle of femur. Its central part is concave and comes in direct contact with femur. Its peripheral part is flat and it is separated from the femur by the lateral meniscus. This articular surface is raised on its medial side, which covers the lateral intercondylar tubercle. This elevation is lateral intercondylar tubercle. Now we will see the anterior surface of this condyle. The anterior surface of lateral condyle has flattened triangular impression. This is known as Gerdy's tubercle. Inferolateral side of this lateral condyle shows a presence of circular or oval facet. This facet is for articulation with the head of the fibula and form the superior tibiofibular joint. Superomedial to this facet, on the posterior aspect of the lateral condyle, there is a groove. This groove is for the tendon of popliteus. Now we will learn about intercondylar area. The intercondylar area intervenes between the two articular surfaces. This area is narrow in the middle and it is wider anteriorly and posteriorly. The middle narrow portion is elevated to form intercondylar eminence. It is flanked by the medial intercondylar tubercle and lateral intercondylar tubercle. So here we can see this is the intercondylar eminence, this is the medial intercondylar tubercle, and this is lateral intercondylar tubercle. Now, anterior surface of both the condyles display a triangular area. Here you can see the anterior surface of both the condyle merges and form this triangular area. The apex is directed downward and it forms this elevation. This elevation is known as tibial tuberosity. Inferiorly, this tibial tuberosity continues with this anterior border. This tibial tuberosity has upper smooth area and lower rough area. From the junction of this upper and lower area, epiphyseal line of the upper end passes. Now, shaft of tibia. It is prismoid in cut section. It has 3 borders and 3 surfaces. 3 borders include anterior border, medial border and lateral border. This lateral border is also known as interosseous border. 3 surfaces includes medial surface, which lies between anterior and medial border. Lateral surface lies between anterior and interosseous border, and posterior surface which lies between medial and lateral border. This is the posterior surface. First, we will learn about borders. Anterior border, it is sharp and S-shaped. It is convex medially in its upper part and convex laterally in its lower part. It extends from the tibial tuberosity above to the anterior border of medial malleolus below. It is subcutaneous throughout and forms the sheen of tibia. Now, medial border. It extends above from the medial condyle, passes downward and reaches up to the posterior margin of medial malleolus. This border is rounded. Lateral border. It extends above from the just below the facet for the head of the fibula. It passes downward and ends by dividing into a triangular notch. This notch is known as fibular notch. Here you can see this is the triangular fibular notch. This lateral border is also known as interosseous border. Now we will learn about surfaces of the shaft. First of all, lateral surface. The lateral surface lies between anterior border and interosseous border. In its upper 3/4 part, this surface is concave and it is directed laterally. But in its lower 1/4 part, it is directed forward. Here you can see in its lower part, this lateral surface is directed forward. Now, medial surface. The medial surface lies between anterior border and medial border. This surface is broad and major part of this surface is subcutaneous. Now, posterior surface. It lies between medial border and interosseous border. In its upper part, this surface is wider. This part is crossed by a thick ridge, which is known as soleal line. This soleal line extends from just below the fibular facet. It passes downward and medially and meet with the medial border at its junction with the upper 1/3 and middle 1/3. Here you can see this is the soleal line. This line divides the posterior surface into 2 parts. The smaller part which lies above the soleal line, it is triangular. Here you can see the triangular posterior surface. The lower part, which is larger, it is again divided by a vertical ridge. This ridge is faint. By this vertical ridge, this surface is divided into medial area and lateral area. Near the upper end of this vertical ridge, you can see this is the nutrient foramen. This nutrient foramen is directed downward. So upper end is the growing end. The nutrient artery of tibia is the largest nutrient artery of the body. It is a branch of posterior tibial artery. Now we will learn about lower end. The lower end is slightly expanded and projects medially as the medial malleolus. This is the medial malleolus. It has 5 surfaces: the anterior surface, lateral surface, medial surface, posterior surface, and inferior surface. Anterior surface of the lower end, it is larger and it has smooth upper part and lower rough and grooved part. Now posterior surface, it is smaller as compared to anterior surface, and here on the posterior aspect of the medial malleolus you can see a groove. This groove behind the medial malleolus is for the tendon of tibialis posterior. Now medial surface. This is the medial surface. It is subcutaneous and it is continuous with the medial surface of the medial malleolus. Now we will learn lateral surface. Here you can see this is the lateral surface. It is triangular fibular notch which articulate with the fibula to form inferior tibiofibular joint. The upper part of the notch is rough while the lower part is smooth. This lower part may be covered by hyaline cartilage. Now inferior surface. This is the inferior surface. It is articular. It is continuous with the lateral aspect of the medial malleolus. Both of these articulate with the talus and form the ankle joint. Now we will discuss medial malleolus. It is short but strong process. It projects downward from the medial surface of the lower end of the tibia. It forms the subcutaneous prominence on the medial side of ankle. It has anterior surface, medial surface, lateral surface, posterior surface, and tip. The posterior surface, it is grooved for the tendon of tibialis posterior. So now we have completed the general features of tibia. Thank you.